Greetings, travelers. This is Channel 42. Welcome to the new creative studio, broadcasting with higher transmission signal. We're here at our broadcast booth. We have a very special guest today. Debuting in our brand new studio is Geneticcode. Welcome, Geneticcode.
Hello, everybody.
Wow, it's great to have you on the show. You've been a longtime friend for, God, I think since the beginning of No Man's Sky in general. Part of the community. You've been posting all kinds of great screenshots of rare and awesome stuff for ages. Geneticcode, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I've known you for so long, since the beginning, since the days before Amino. Why don't we start at the very beginning?
Okay.
Where are you from?
I am from Utah. I was born and raised here, and I've stayed here.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So you're just below, I guess, British Columbia.
Well, yeah, I guess if you drew a line towards Texas, I'd be like right in the middle there somewhere.
Right. Okay. You're not too far off. So you're only a couple
No.
hours drive, I would think. That's not too bad. How's the weather out there?
It's getting pretty hot here.
Yeah.
It's been raining a little bit, but it's getting hotter, definitely.
Yeah. You guys get some real strong heat, don't you?
Yeah. We have some definite summers and some definite winters here.
Yeah. Do you
We
do
get
any
both
skiing?
worlds. I do not. I did some skiing when I was way much younger, but I like to be in control, and if I'm going down a hill on two slidey things, I feel like I'm too far out of control, you know. If I had a
Yeah.
snowmobile, maybe snowmobiles are fun, but skiing not so much for me.
Yeah. A little bit of a money pit with a snowmobile.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love to ski myself. I'm close to Whistler. You're right about the control thing. I do a lot of turns just to make sure I stay in control. So, now what is that? Central Standard Time that you're in?
It's mountain time.
Mountain Time. Okay, so yeah, you're
Yeah.
really close. Yeah, you're only like a state over and down one or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So now, where did you get your start in NMS? Like, did you buy it day one?
I bought the digital. I've got several physical copies, and I bought it digitally, so I've just been playing it on the digital.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because you can just download it again on the same account.
Uh-huh.
Nice one. Okay. Do you have like a couple of PS4s or just the one unit?
I have actually right now two PS4 Pros.
Oh, cool. No, I only have the regular one. Do- do-
Well,
is there a difference
well,
with the Pro?
yeah, I've noticed. I think the graphics a little bit. There's an enhanced function on it to enhance the graphics a little bit. I think there's some video settings. It seems like it's kind of a little bit beefed up from the regular PS4. That I had a PS4 for a long time too.
Okay. Here's an interesting question for you. One you may or may not be able to answer. Can you
Uh-huh.
see rainbows? It's been a question that's been
Yes,
out
all the
there.
time.
You
All the
do?
time.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I do not on my regular PS4. So there's a difference right there. Is the PS4 Pro can
Yeah.
handle the better rendering with colors and obviously rainbows, because I'd sure like to see a rainbow. I did see
They are
one on
pretty
PC.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so used to it though. I see them all the time. But they are really cool. I guess I take them for granted a little bit.
No, not at all. I'm getting jealous though. It's kind of like the ring planets, right? Until you start seeing them everywhere, right?
Yeah. One in
So
every system.
yeah. Now, okay, so you're a day one player
Yes.
since the days of before Amino. Where did you first like jump on the scene?
Um, if by scene you mean start to play with other people and uh, look at things on social media,
Yeah,
like connect on social media, I think probably it might have been Twitch.
yeah.
I might have started noticing things on Twitch because for a long time there I was just playing by myself. I didn't know anybody that played it.
It was very
Um,
much the same for me. Twitch was showing a lot of streamers at the time that were playing No Man's Sky, and I was bouncing around between different streamers and
uh,
looking for just general group of nice people to hang out with.
Uh,
I ran into Dylan, and that's where I met you
uh-huh.
on Twitch in the same format. So it's really kind of cool that we finally get a chance to hang out. And I think this is our second meeting in the form of actually seeing each other's Travelers Forum.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
like I remember that time when I popped into your game with a bunch. I think I was streaming, and Nick
yeah,
Up was with me, and I was dancing on your head or something. I think you got a screenshot of that.
I did. Yeah, it was funny. I think I don't remember. Was it permadeath or something? And I had no idea who was there. And all of a sudden there was like shots being fired, and I'm like, what the heck's going on?
No, I don't think it was permadeath. I
I
think it
don't.
was normal.
Was it just normal? Yeah. And
Yeah,
there was a whole group of you guys, the old the Twitch streamer crowd. It was
yeah,
good to see everybody. I hadn't seen a lot of them. People go their separate ways, other
yeah.
games and so forth. I haven't seen Nikab in ages. I'd love to see him in the cafe.
Um, yeah, I don't see him a whole lot. Like we send each other messages on PSN back sometime occasionally. When a new update comes out, he jumps on and updates it and collects whatever, gets new materials, new blueprints and stuff. And sometimes we get on if he needs me to dupe something to him, we get on and dupe stuff to each other. But he doesn't play a whole lot anymore. It
Yeah.
kind of
Eh,
bums me out because he was kind of my like sidekick there.
well, you guys were co-pilots, right? You
Yeah,
guys were
yeah,
doing
yeah,
stuff all the time. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a
Definitely
shame.
co-pilot. I really enjoyed streaming with him when we'd stream together.
Yeah, Nika was great. He found one of my one of I think it was my first one wing. I was looking and looking and looking. He found it. So yeah, and of course now they're no longer available in the game. I'm hoping they fix that.
You might be alone in that hope.
I might be. Not a lot of people like those one wings. I think I'm like that lone person in the crowd with their arm up saying, "Hey guys,
Yeah,
forget."
yeah, I think you are.
Probably, but anyways, I can still try. I can still try.
Yeah,
It doesn't stop
yeah.
me from sending in those Zendesk reports.
No, not like I would hope that they add them for you again because if there's something that I really enjoy and they take it out, I want it back.
Well, more than anything, it's a unique thing in the game, I think. It's something
Uh-huh.
different than the norm of other ships. That's why I kind of like all the new ones, like the exotics. That was a
Oh
new
yeah.
thing, right? And now they're not so new, but they put in living ships. So that's
Uh-huh.
really cool, right? But I like seeing variety in the ships, and the One Wing was variety when there wasn't any.
Yeah.
And so that was really, really cool. Um, so yeah, I mean, what are you flying these days? What's your choice of ship?
I have a squid on at least one squid on every save, of course, because that's my favorite ship.
Yeah.
Um, I think when Sean Murray first tweeted, was it tweeted when he first released that screenshot of the squid before the exotics were released? I
Right.
fell in love. I'm like, what is that ship? I want that one. And it took me a while to locate one after they came out. I was like, oh, that's the one. That's the one right there because it's so different and it's so like technological. That's why I love the experimental multi tools because they look technological. I like the aliens, but to me they look a little wonky.
Hmm.
I like the fact that they're organic, but the design is a little wonky to me. The experimentals are they're very concise and technological. That's
Well,
why
they
I
look
like them.
futuristic too, right? And
Exactly.
of course, for a futuristic space game, they've got to be futuristic. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, right. You can go both ways, organic or futuristic.
yeah.
I dig both, and I love the fact they finally added multiple multi-tools. So now I can
Oh
have an
yeah,
alien and an experimental, right? The best of
yeah,
both worlds. I'm very happy
yeah.
about that. Um, So now, speaking of squids, that was one of the rare items that you used to find. That
Mhm.
you're actually probably an expert in finding them. Um, very few
No, I
people have
was
been
just
able to find
lucky.
them regularly. But it's with some of the research that you did in locating them that like people like Lily and myself were able to put down some interesting knowledge back in the day and be able to
Uh-huh.
locate and find where some of them might spawn. And we had
Uh-huh.
quite a bit of success with that, actually. It worked out very
That's
well.
cool.
Yeah, right. Like it's changed now. It's a little bit different since
Yeah.
the update. But in the past, it was hot planets was a key key thing. High conflict systems.
Yeah.
And there was another couple of other little things about the systems that were key in having them spawn. So yeah, we use that knowledge, and we found a whole bunch of them throughout the galaxies in the universe. Um, and you were part and parcel of understanding
Nice.
that algorithm, right? So yeah, yeah, you totally were. Um, you found an awful lot of multi-tools as well. What
hmm
spurs that on? Is it just a love for the look of the multi-tool,
Oh,
or
the exploration. I just have a need to look, to know, to search. I need to find things, and I love to help people. I love finding things for people. If I find really cool things, I can be like, "Hey guys, check this out. You might want to, you might enjoy this." And it makes me happy when people actually want the things that I find,
oh
you know.
yeah,
And it's not necessarily like a specific type of planet or something, because everybody's looking for that Goldilocks planet that they want. Um, it's easier to look for multi-tools. It's easier to look for ships too. But there's a lot of ship hunters,
there
so I
is.
kind of.
Yeah, the coordinate exchange has got a lot of great ships.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just flooded with them. I know a lot of people are probably usually go to the coordinate exchange if they're looking for a specific ship.
hmm
Myself, I just like to explore, and when I see something cool, I'll exploit it and make a wiki or a post about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the coordinate exchange seems to be the place to go if somebody's looking for a specific ship.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit out of the game, in my opinion, because when you find that perfect ship, there's a level of excitement that you get.
Oh yes.
Instead of like, eh, somebody else already found it, I'll just go to the system, pick it up, and move on.
Yeah.
Not quite as exciting.
Yeah. That kind
And
of drives me to look for the multi-tools, because I that excitement of finding them.
yeah, and it's really tough. Like it's not just, like there's a certain amount of minor settlements. They're all over the place, and you never
Oh
know which
yeah.
one it's going to be,
No.
or which planet for that matter.
No.
I personally have not mastered that art of finding S-class multi-tools. I found a few, but not for most of it's blind luck. I'll say that.
Usually what I do when I go into a system, I go to three-star systems or high economy pretty much exclusively, because I know that there's a more likely. I try to go to systems with more planets and moons. Like usually try to go for 4 to 6. Sometimes I go to 1 to 3 planets, but usually for more planets. And when I go into a system, first thing I'll do is I'll check the space station, of course, see what class that is at the space station. If you're lucky, you'll get an S class, but that's pretty rare. Um, if it's not an A class or an S class, if it's an A class, I can automatically just go to every planet and reload and come back and look at it. And that'll tell me if there's anything interesting in the system. That makes it way faster and way easier.
Yeah.
Um, if it's a C or a B class, I usually look at the planets in the system, and I'll look for like a desert or a hot planet. I'll look for something that would be easier to look for settlements on. And
Mhm.
then I just go down, and I know that there's people that put down beacons, and they get really precise with it. But I just kind of go down and fly, and usually I fly south. Usually I try to fly one direction and
Okay.
start looking at shelters until I find an A class.
All right.
Um,
Well,
and then I'll
that's
put a beacon down there and do the same thing, same trick.
okay. I've used beacons in the past, but I find I use them up too quickly,
Uh,
and of course I can glitch build them, but then I got to retrieve them afterwards. So
yeah.
I've been using my terrain manipulator to mark the places I've been to,
Uh-huh.
and I'll just like write a big A, B, or C in the
Oh,
ground and move on. The problem is they don't render until you're just about ready to land, so you got to circle
yeah.
around a couple of times to see if it's have you actually been there. And I always fly north, so obviously I'm doing something wrong in the opposite direction.
No, no, no. It doesn't matter what direction you go in. I found sometimes I meander. Sometimes I just want to just meander while I'm watching YouTube videos or something.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't use that's pretty good to use the terrain manipulator. But what I usually do is when I land at a shelter and check the wall box and check the multi-tool or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if I'm reloading at that planet, I'll grab the nanites if they're inside the building, because those don't refresh for like a few days.
Yeah.
And then I'll go save at the manual save, because then I'll know if I land at that one again and I go to save, I'll know I've been there already.
Yeah, the old style. That's how we used to do it the old days. Was
Yeah.
by saving or claiming that little spot, or turning the lights on.
I just
Yeah,
usually just save. It's easier.
yeah,
Or I grab the nanites and then save
yeah. It was Nika
automatically.
who told me that one,
Uh-huh.
oddly enough.
I wonder which one of us got it from the other one, or if we figured it out at the same time.
Yeah, you know what? It was probably one at the same time or something like that. But yeah, we were
Yeah,
all
we were
sharing
probably
that.
looking at the same time, like, hey, do you do this? Do you take the nanites? Yeah, like, and save and this and that.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
pretty good idea to do that.
it was really awesome back in the day. Everybody was bouncing ideas off of each other on what
Oh
you can
yeah.
and can't do. I remember we all tried to uh, uh, leap out of the space station one day, and that took hours of all of us running around to the very end, only to find out you couldn't jump out.
Yeah.
But and then it was
Well,
another hour back down the end of the space station corridor, right? I mean, um,
there's another streamer that like I've hung out with a little bit. He kind of does his own little thing too, but Vitamin R, I'm sure you know him.
yeah,
He pushes the limits of the game. Like it's sometimes it's really fascinating to watch him, because he'll just do things to try to break the game.
yeah. Well, that's a good way of learning the limits. I did a little of that with portal science and whatnot a couple of years back, and it really teaches you, excuse me, your limits on what you can and can't do with the game,
Uh-huh.
and how to sort of manipulate things for your advantage. Unfortunately, the game doesn't like it so much, and it broke my save for a little while
Oh.
until I behaved. And
Uh-huh.
HG says, "Okay, he's behaving now. Let's not wreck it, right? Anything more."
That's why I'm afraid to do anything in both of my normal saves.
Yeah,
I'm really careful with them. I make backups. I archive my backups on my PC and on multiple USBs. I've got like I'm really careful with that stuff.
yeah. Well, you've had some trouble in the past. I guess
Uh-huh.
we could talk about that. In the past, you had your save just corrupted on us, and this was the Atlas Rises update. Is that right?
It might have been.
Yeah, it was a while back, and it corrupted your save for I think almost a full year until they fixed it. Um, and you kept playing and you kept playing. What kept you going all that time, knowing that
I
your original save was corrupted like that?
Actually, that wasn't my launch day save. That was my. So I have my launch day save that's on this account,
Hmm.
and then which I started in was August 2016. And I got to the center of the Gallic of Euclid, and for some reason when I was doing this is a funny story, by the way. For some reason when I was doing the Atlas path, I don't know if I turned it down at the end or something happened. It glitched and it wouldn't let me finish the Atlas path, and so I couldn't see black holes, and it was driving me nuts because I knew everybody else could see them, and I'm like, why is my and I'd go to an Atlas station. It wouldn't. I couldn't finish it,
Oh
for some
no.
reason.
Yeah.
So I was at the center for a while, and I'm like, I wonder if I go through to, and I didn't think about backing up my save and reload it. I wonder if I go through to Hilbert if it would reset my Atlas path. So I went through to Hilbert, did not reset my Atlas path, and I'm like, oh, I got disgusted, and so I parked that save. I stopped playing that save. That's when I started the No Man's Sky, which I changed the name to No Man's High. That PSN. That's the PSN that I played for a long time, for like what is it, 7,207 hours now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I started that one in October of that year,
Yeah.
and I just kept playing that one, and that's what the one I remember watching a streamer on Twitch, and he had like, I don't know if it was like 150 zoology, and he put that in his stream title, and he's like 150, or it was like 200 zoology or something like that. I'm like, oh, I want to do that, because I'd watch him stream, and I'm like, I want to do that. So I started looking for the zoology, and I remember getting to 150 and then 200, and by that time I'd kind of they invited me to the No Man's Sky Love um,
The Facebook
in
page. Yeah.
yeah, in near the center of Euclid. So I went to that area and I was doing zoology all over that area, and I ended up getting probably I can't remember what I got up to. It was like 400
Oh my goodness.
zoology in that area, and then all the Twitch people were like, I remember it was Scorpio and Mick Momster and Kaya Cloud and Puff Cloud and Nickub and
Oh, the old gang.
Melemony and all those people. They're like, let's go to Eisentam. So we went to Eisentam and started a little. I think Scorpio started a little. It was in a little tree shape, the little hub there, and then I went. I
Yeah,
was.
the
I
Luna
didn't like
Hub.
what he named it, the Luna Hub, and so I
Yeah.
went down below and named it the Twitch Hub, and like I started doing zoology there, and I ended up getting, I think, close to 1,000, and I think that's when my game kind of took a poop,
Yeah,
and
you were like nine less 1,000. I
yeah,
remember.
it was like right below 1,000, and I had to wait for him. I didn't think they were gonna fix my save. Like it would just all it would do was crash when I try to exit my game. I could do things. I could open the game up and play, and then when I go to exit the game, it would crash, and I'm like, I
It's
can't do anything.
heartbreaking. It's
Yeah,
heartbreaking. Mine did
so,
that for a short time, but I did
uh,
not have to endure what you did for a
oh
year.
yeah. Yeah, so what I did, so in the meantime, I'm like, why don't I just go start playing my other save? Like it was, like I'll bring that save to Eisentown. So I booted back up my original launch day save on this account and brought it to Eisentown, and I was doing stuff with that, and I was also doing stuff with I started a creative save too.
Yeah,
Um,
creative has got its pluses. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's the my launch day save. That's when you and Kelly Monkey were racing through the galaxies, and you're like, "Hey, you should come join us in whatever. What was it?
29, 20,
Yeah,
27, 27.
yeah. So I came there. I'm like, so I jumped there, and then you guys started racing, and I'm like, there's no way I can keep up with these guys. They're pros. So I kind of just started on my own, just going through the galaxies, and um, that's when I got through all of them. And I think you guys had stopped or something, and I kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. I'm like,
Yeah.
I bet I can get to the end before they can. And I think Kelly Monkey got there. He got a wild hair and ended up getting to 255 first. But I got there like I think soon after, and I think that's when his game glitched. And then I found out that when you jump through the core of 255, like I backed up my save and then jumped through, and it went back to Euclid. That's when I discovered it went back to Euclid.
Yeah, and that was
And
that was totally like nobody knew any of that stuff. Where it would
yeah,
take you, what was it, another system? Would it reset your game? Nobody knew. And until then, it was, like you were one of the first guys to actually pass through all 256 galaxies. Um,
yeah,
and I never made it that far on my original save. Um, it was I think I made it to 97,
uh-huh.
and I got busy. Kelly Monkey kept rolling along. You kept rolling, and then the update came out,
Yeah, so you couldn't do the
and
portal trick anymore.
I couldn't do that anymore. And at that point, I was working on other projects, and I joined Kelly Monkey with that save, and he happened to be in Eisentam,
Uh-huh.
and that was back when the game launched that update, and anyone who traveled back got stuck back there.
Uh-huh.
So I ended up losing out 85 galaxies.
Oh.
Yeah, I lost a lot of time and space off of that one. That was my OG save, the original one.
Oh yeah.
It was glitched hard. It stopped working. I couldn't build a base. I couldn't build warp cells. So I put that
Oh.
save down like you and picked up other saves.
Yeah.
And now I've got like multiple saves with thousands of hours on them. It's kind of funny how that all works out. It doesn't really matter
Yeah.
what save I play anymore. They're all really about the same. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So now, sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Sorry, I ramble a little bit sometimes.
No, that's all good. So, like, what's your favorite thing that you like to do in the game?
Oh. What isn't? I like to explore. And when I'm hunting for multi-tools, I get to go to new system after new system. I get to look at all the planets. I get to, and since I'm in creative, I'm doing my Quicksilver missions every day. I usually on both of my creative saves, I do the feed the animals. And so
Yeah.
I get to go scan animals and feed animals. I usually do that with my two normal saves. I do the pirates because it's so easy, and I get ship kills with that on my milestones,
Oh
which
yeah.
not a big deal, but I like to boost up my milestones a little bit.
It's always
Um,
good. Yeah.
but I love to explore. Like I can't sit still. Like it's hard for me. I've built some bases here and there. I've got um, bases on some Diplo planets that I really love. Um, I usually try to build a little base at really cool multi-tools that I find so that if people want them and they want me to take them to there, I can really easy. Um, Instead of them trying to go through the portal and stuff, it's
Right.
easier that way.
It is. Yeah.
But exploring, like I still have this never-ending need to see, to go, to move, to explore.
Yeah. Now you were given the nickname Beastmaster back in the day when you were doing all those
I
zoology.
actually gave that to myself.
Well, whether you gave it to yourself or not, we were all calling you that
Yeah.
technically because nobody was even close to accomplishing that. The amount of zoology that you did, I mean, I was around 100 and thought I was really proud of that. And then of course I saw like Frosty's stream and I'm like, oh, I'm just a loser. And then and then you see other guys they got like 2, 3, 400 and you're approaching like 1,000, and
Uh-huh.
it just blows my mind that you were able to do that many zoology. Like I was getting pretty good at them, but I always
Uh-huh.
got hung up on that last animal so many
Oh
times,
yeah.
and
That last one.
dude, you were just knocking them out of the park. Um, in fact, I think at some place, I think Nikab was he started a little project. He was going around to all these places in the Galactic Hub, and all the planets that had like one species missing, he would
Oh
just find
yeah.
that last species and then claim the zoology. And he did that for like a whole bunch of places.
I did that.
Um,
I did a lot of Galactic Hub. Like I did that a lot for them. I was completing the zoology on a lot of, like I was either doing the whole zoology or completing it for other people in the Galactic Hub.
yeah, yeah, and they record all that stuff. They're very stringent in their how they record their documentation and planet naming and system naming and so
Uh-huh.
on and so forth. Um,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, we're a little bit more relaxed in the cafe. It's name it whatever you want.
Yeah, I wasn't naming it. Like I didn't step on anybody's feet in the Galactic Hub. I wouldn't name any systems or anything. Like I just went in to complete to either do the whole zoology on planets or just complete it on because people would leave it with one left or two left, and I'm like I'll complete it. That's another zoology for me.
Yeah, well, I'm guilty of that myself. You spend an hour or two looking for that last creature, and finally, like, screw it, I'm out of here. I gotta find
Yeah,
something else.
yeah.
Of course, I never say that for ships because I've spent so many thousands of
Oh
hours
yeah.
hunting ships over the
Oh
years.
yeah. I've done that too. Um. Oh, let's see what was I gonna say? With the zoology. I've lost my train of thought.
It seems to be going around.
Oh yeah. I kind of lost. It lost a little steam when they came out with the exotic planets, and there was just like one fauna on the planet, and it was so much
Yeah,
easier to do it. I kind of lost it. Lost the sails. The sails lost the wind for me a little bit.
a little, yeah, because when you're starting out and you're trying to get those milestones to move up with the Atlas Path and the Artemis Quest and so on, you got to get those zoology. I think you need a
Hmm.
total of 7, I think it is, to get the Atlas Path complete. And it was actually really easy just to find one of those exotic planets, do
Hmm.
one species, and move on. Um,
Uh,
and that really sped a lot of things up, but it took a lot out of the actual hunt, if you know
yeah,
what I mean,
it did.
right? Yeah, because it was a bit of a grind, but it was worth it in the end because you had that satisfaction of knowing I got 10 planets that full species are completed. Like
Uh-huh.
you went and did the effort. One species, it's pretty easy because they're really easy to find, right? So yeah, no, you're right. It definitely takes the wind out of the sails in the zoology department. And I wish there were greater rewards for zoology. They seem to have cut back on the nanite rewards for completing zoology and so on. I'd like to see them bring that back into the game where it meant something to complete zoology.
They should add instead of nanites, like for non-exotic planets, for planets with 6 or more fauna, they should add a Quicksilver reward.
You know,
That
that's not
would
a bad
that
way
would
to
make
go.
it worth it again.
It
Then I'd
would.
start doing fauna again.
Well, it would also get people out there exploring planets a little bit more and give them a reason to earn Quicksilver instead of waiting for community events, right?
Uh-huh.
Which personally I find that is a little bit tedious.
Uh-huh.
You're limited on the amount of Quicksilver that you can pick up in a single go. I kind of play differently where, if I want to do Quicksilver missions one day, then I want to do that all day. I don't want to
Uh-huh.
just do one or two and be like, well, now I got to wait for the next day to get another 250. That's a little frustrating, because I'd like to be able to access it the same way you would nanites, right? If I want to keep
Uh-huh.
making nanites, I'll just keep collecting nanites. Um, doesn't have to be in great numbers, but it would be nice if
No.
they made that
It would be
Quicksilver.
nice.
Yeah, especially with so many Quicksilver items in the synthesis bot, because they've got some really cool things, but you're
Yeah,
slowed
new
down.
new players, like what are they gonna do? They can't get all that stuff. They can
They
get
gotta
one,
grind.
maybe one thing at a time. They got to grind for like one thing at a time, and there's no way they're gonna get all that stuff. They can get one or two things here and there. They get to look at all this neat stuff that's in the Quicksilver store, and they can't have it.
Yeah, yeah. Like the egg is what, 3,200 for the living egg,
Uh-huh.
right? So, yeah, it's free, but it still costs you 3,200 for the egg, and that takes
Uh-huh.
time and missions and so on. That's 3 weekend missions or 2 weekend missions and a couple of, weekly during the days. It still
Hmm.
takes 3 weeks or so to accomplish that. So, yeah, it takes time, and I'd like it if you'd be able to just knock it out in a single day, just keep hammering them out. If you have the time, then go for it.
Uh-huh.
But we'll hope HG hears the video and moves on from there.
Yeah, I've got a lot of wishes, a lot of wishes for improvements and things to add to the game, like everybody else does.
Oh yeah, we all have the things that we all want, or they've given me quite a bit. I've been wishing for
Oh
those multi
yeah.
tools for a long time, and now they finally gave us the ability to have that. What what keeps you going? All these years. Like we're approaching a little over 3 years now, and you're still plugging along, doing what you do best. Why?
This is my love. Like the second I installed the game and started playing, I was like, wow. Like I wasn't even I it wasn't the same as the E3 trailer, everybody was disappointed a little bit. I wasn't like I was so in awe that this game was so different and it was so unique and it was like just it fed the explorer in me. I just fell in love from the very first moment and it just has never stopped. I mean, of course, everything starts to get a little samey. They haven't added enough variety for a lot of people, and I hope they do work on variety and add more variety for people because that's what one of my wishes. But
Yeah,
I'm happy with what they've given us, and I enjoy every time they come out with new updates. Like when I know there's one coming soon, and I'm hoping it's a bigger one. Um, I get excited because there's new blueprints I can go get and new things I can go find. Every time I'm hoping there's new ships and new freighters and new multi tools, but I'm hoping that's coming.
yes, yeah. We need more
And new
variety.
fauna, and new planets, and maybe multiple biomes. I want all the same things. Everybody, ship customization. The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I like to see paint job ship customization.
Oh
That's
yes,
what
oh
I like.
yes.
Yeah, I
See,
like
that's
finding a ship. I don't know if I want to build my perfect ship, but finding it is definitely a thrill.
the paint job. Yeah, the paint job's my number one for the ship customization. I'm okay if I have to go find the ship that I want, but I just want to be able to color it and the way I want, you know?
Yeah, or put some decals on it,
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, something representative of a faction, your clan or
Hmm.
community, something. I think that would be really, really kind of cool. And I don't see any reason why they don't introduce that into the game. They've done it for Exocraft and
Hmm.
other components, your appearance modifier for that matter. So it is possible. They just haven't done it yet. And let's hope that that's one of the programs that their programmers are working on. So
I think it's coming.
I hope so. I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, me too.
I'm crossing my little antenna on top of my head too. So, like all these years you've been playing the game, and your choice of media is Twitter. That's where you choose to share most of your works.
Uh-huh.
Why Twitter? What is it about Twitter that you like the most?
It's so easy for me just to share something. I used to sometimes I just share stuff directly from my PS4, like just bam right to Twitter. But with the multi-tools, like I'll export them to the USB and then put them on my PC so that I can add more than one picture into one tweet.
Right.
What I really want to do is figure out what they're using on the coordinate exchange. Some of those guys are putting everything into one picture and with
Yes.
the portal coordinates, and it looks so nice and neat. And I want to be able to do that with all of mine and then tweet like just that one picture.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I've been doing a lot of that myself with various little things for the cafe. I
Uh-huh.
use a program called PixArt on my phone, but see, I
Uh-huh.
use everything on my phone. I'm a mobile device kind of guy. On
Uh-huh.
the computer, I'm not sure, but we've got lots of people around to ask who can tell you. I know Lily uses some programs that are similar to, I think there's a Photoshop version
Yeah.
that you can
I'm so
use.
dusty on the Photoshop. I need to buy a new version of it or something.
Yeah.
I haven't used it for years.
Admittedly, so the phone apps are pretty handy. I will say so. I put together a lot of really quick and easy shots where I've been able to blend other photos on top of or
Oh,
overlay
that's
photos on
cool.
top of. So there's things that are available. It's just whether or not what platform or media that you choose to use.
Yeah.
Twitter, I get that, where it's easy to share straight from your PlayStation right onto Twitter. You used to be
Uh,
able to do that on Facebook, and I use the Messenger app. I'm not sure if many of you use
yeah.
that one.
I use Facebook and Messenger, but I don't usually do my No Man's Sky with stuff on there.
Ah, right, right. For me,
I
I'll
used to.
yeah, I'll download off a messenger, so I'll send a picture to myself or
Uh-huh.
to a friend, and then when I access it on my phone, I literally I just take the screenshot of that, and
Uh-huh.
that gives me I guess the highest quality image that I can get
Uh-huh.
for my phone, which isn't bad. That's how I get them on my phone and how
It's
I'm able to post
usable.
them. It is. They're all very usable, and how I use them to post onto the Amino. The downside is my phone is full of No Man's Sky photos, thousands of them.
Oh, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I guess it takes up storage.
It does. I have to delete them every once in a while, but oddly enough, I have to clean my PlayStation more often than my phone.
Yeah, I think the reason why I don't use the Amino and Reddit and um, the programs on the phone is it's just harder for me to navigate. It's harder for me to figure out how to post pictures and to write posts and stuff like that because I'm just not quite as adept with it
Well,
on the
it's all
phone.
with your finger, right? And this phone is
Yeah,
small, and yeah, it's like swipe this and swipe that. It
yeah.
it took a bit of time for me to get used to it. Now that's all I use. I've just grown to really enjoy it that way.
Hmm.
But each person has their own preferred way of doing it, and um, just because you don't particularly like one platform or another, you found another way to still share with a cafe, and that just warms my heart. It warms
I
all of our
wish,
hearts.
I really wish I was better at it on the amino because I wouldn't just have this blank profile with no posts in it. I'd be posting up my multi tools in there. Um, but I'm not as comfortable using the apps on the phone for
Hey,
some
but that's
reason.
okay. It's not a problem because we have, we have other platforms that the cafe is on as well, right?
Uh-huh.
NMS Cafe on Twitter. There's, the Discord app as well. And I think that you're in the No Man's Sky Discord. If not, I'll
Yeah,
definitely get
yeah.
you an invite to that.
I think
Um,
I'm in a whole bunch of Discords. What I do in Discord though is when I join Discord servers, like the first thing I'll do is go in and turn all the notifications off because I don't want that thing going off, especially at work.
oh yeah, nonstop,
Yeah,
nonstop. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Discord is great for a lot of things. Notifications is not one of them. Because yeah, you'll get hammered with notifications. I wake up some days, and if I haven't turned them off, it's like miles of stuff, from all the
Uh,
different servers, and that's okay. You can filter through that. But if you're trying to sleep and it's buzzing on you, not gonna work so well.
yeah, I have like a very ghostly presence on Discord. It's fairly ghostly on Amino too. Like I think Twitter is more comfortable for me just to throw things up.
Mhm.
And when I take the screenshots of all the procedural generated names, I've probably taken way more screenshots than I share. I usually just share like the kind of the dirtiest ones. But if I get a laugh out of it, I know somebody else is going to get a laugh out of it, so that's why I share them.
Oh, you know it. That's part of the game is some of the
Yeah.
hilarious names they've come up with. I mean, we've
Uh-huh.
we've seen some hilarious names from uh, everything. I can't even tell you. I don't even want to say on air half of them that we
Yeah,
found that are just so
yeah.
funny. But yeah, I like how they've done that, where they're all, procedurally generated, letters just jammed together and they make words, and some of them are really funny. For example, this system we're in right now is e fuck me.
Yeah, yeah. I got a kick out of that.
Yep, I believe General Jaegers found this system one night, and I went and put my base here. So yeah, there's so many funny names that we can use, and the default name I find is best. We don't name systems per se anymore. We use the
Uh-huh.
default name because when they finally reset the galaxy,
Uh-huh.
we're still in good shape.
Oh yeah, and I think that's exactly why when I find a multi-tool, I'll keep the original system name and I'll name the original. I used to name them funny name, or I'd put like S-class wall box next to the name or something.
Yeah.
But now I usually just name the original planet names so that when I put the information up, people on Xbox or PC won't have as hard a time.
Yeah, and they'll find it pretty easily, right? And now
Yeah.
with coordinates, you can literally every platform has the availability to find that same thing on the other
Hmm.
platform just by using coordinates.
Yep.
And I did just that on PC for one of the multi-tools you found. I used my PC to go and locate it using the coordinates that I got off my PS4.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all united. Every platform is all there. I like how HG has made the servers mirrored in all the platforms. I
Hmm.
wish that the space station multi-tools were the same on PC as they are on PS4. That one is a
Oh, they're
little bit of
not?
a no. That
They're
one is
they're a
different.
little different?
They're a
Wow.
lot different. Yeah, the class is not the same at all, ever.
Hmm.
So, like, if you
'Cause
find an S class in the space station on PS4, it won't be
uh
on
oh
PC.
wow. I did
Which
not know
raises
that.
the question: if they're the same on the planetary surface, what are they when they're not in the space station?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a theory on that, and it might include the Nexus. I'm not
There's a
sure.
lot. The Nexus is tied to a lot of like. There's a lot of glitch things you can do with the Nexus.
Yeah, the whole I think duping is related to the Nexus,
Yeah.
and the auto saves that it creates. The Nexus it's a good thing and probably a little bit of a bad thing at the same time, but
Yeah.
it does add to the game, and so I'm happy for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. I have one more question for you, sir.
Okay.
This one you've heard in all the other ones, and I like to
Mm-hmm.
ask everybody this question because it just goes with our whole theme of the Hitchhiker's Guide. Do you, sir, have the answers to life, the universe, and everything in between?
Well, I think we all actually know the answer to that, but it's the question. that I'm looking for, and I think I'll find it on a planet somewhere in No Man's Sky.
Oh, good one. Very, very
I think
open-ended.
I think yeah, I think there's a planet in No Man's Sky that is the question.
Oh, now, okay, that's something new we haven't heard before. So the question is a planet.
Yeah, like we already have the answer, but I think the planet um was constructed to so we would know the question.
Ah, interesting. So now we got to find the planet to
Yeah,
find the
yeah,
question to answer the
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Exactly.
To know to know what the answer means.
Well, we're going to have to start searching for that.
And I think maybe that galaxy, that 42 might that planet might be there somewhere.
Well, we've been trying out there. So far, we haven't found it, but we're going to keep
I, I
trying.
I might have to hop a ride there.
Oh, anytime, anytime. I can give you a lift there later today, or anytime that I'm on. I can get you a lift right over to Zoberinge, and
Nice.
you can have some fun out there. Um, and any galaxy for that matter that I'm here that you're not, which I find surprising because you've been through every galaxy.
I wish I had access to all of them. I actually right now with both my normals I can get to um, Euclid and Hilbert and Eisentam and Isengola. That's 255, and I actually got access to 256 now.
Oh, nice. Through the
Um,
teleporter?
no, Mark Hutchinson on Twitter. I guess he knows some people on that had gotten to 256 way long ago before they made 255 wrap around.
Right.
And I don't know who this was that did, but um, I'm like, oh, 256? What? Can you get me there? And so he did. And so I have access to 256 now.
Okay. So yeah, no, the 256 was supposed to be the next jump past the 255th, but it in the early days it was an actual galaxy
Yeah,
within its own. Wow.
yeah.
So you're in like the haze zone of galaxies.
Yeah, pretty much you can't get there anymore by conventional means that I know of, unless you were to load up um, vanilla like 1.0 with a disk and
And make your
travel
way.
through that way.
Oof, that's a long travel.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. Oh, and I do actually. Do you remember? This is also funny. Do you remember when Styx discovered the system that was really close to the center?
Yeah,
Vartasado Umats or whatever.
yeah.
I actually started a vanilla save on the disk and got to that system. And I actually have all the planets named in that system. I have access to that system now.
Oh
It's
wow.
still claimed by him. I'm waiting for one of the updates to erase the name so I can rename it. But
Yeah, you know what? I think it's No Man's Sky lore now. I think it's set in the game.
yeah,
Yeah, some
so
things are
actually,
set.
yeah, I think well the game changed the name from Vartasado Umats to it's like Varta Cool now.
Okay.
It changed it a little bit,
Yeah, and that
but I
was
have a
that was
base
right
there.
next to center in the haze zone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I made it there well the first time around, and I've never been able to make it back for whatever reason. I cannot make it into the haze zone. Maybe my timing is off, but yep.
I think you have to play vanilla with the internet turned off, and then hit a right when you get to the center, go through a black hole, and I think it takes you. There might be some other systems in that haze zone too, but
Hmm.
it'll take you to one of those systems right in that haze zone.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Do you remember Cod for Prime?
Yes,
Yes,
he was in the system with me.
he's done a lot of research on the haze zone, and has bounced his way up through the galaxies, researching every haze zone along the way,
Uh-huh.
and also the in-game lore. So there's some really really cool science that he's been working on. I haven't
Oh yeah.
seen him in a while. He may be taking a break from the game, but we've definitely got to get him on the show.
I'm friends with him on PSN, and I think I see him playing No Man's Sky sometimes, and he plays Minecraft sometimes. I haven't seen him stream for a while.
Yeah, he's been doing his own little thing quietly for a while there, but he always resurfaces. So I'm looking forward to.
I love the lore work he does.
He's fantastic. He's got a great voice too, eh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
very Spock sounding.
yeah. You know what? It's perfect for his profile.
Uh-huh, exactly. He picked a good picture for his avatar.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. He's a member of the DTC as well, and that's a group that's sort of making a resurgence within No Man's Sky.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing new things from those guys as well. Dude, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
Oh, dude, the pleasure was all mine. We've known each other for so long, and it's nice to finally get a chance to sit down and chat and to share with everybody else what I've known about you for quite some time, and just to get to know the legend just a little bit. Genetic code, everybody.
There's not a legend. I may get a little um, ambitious and start streaming again. I don't know. Usually I'm at work and I'm like, yeah, I wanna stream today, and then I get home and I'm like, I'm either too tired or I just get like social anxiety and I decide not to do it, and it kind of just never happens.
You're a
But I
legend in
might
my eyes, dude. You've done
one
so
of
many
these
great
days.
things.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So the
And
honor is well earned.
you're an absolute legend in my eyes too. The
Aw,
the
thanks, man.
the way you lead and organize everybody and you run all this, like, just it's I just couldn't do it. I don't know how you do it.
I get a lot of work from some friends and another great co-leader with Lily Hop, and
Absolutely.
it's all about teamwork, right? You can't do it alone. Um,
No.
and we've got a new leader as well that's coming to help us out as well, and his name is
Nice.
.com. And we've got some great things ahead of us for No Man's Sky in the cafe, and
Nice.
I'm looking forward to all the good things and having some really good friends around to enjoy it with. So
Nice.
thank you
Well,
again.
I take a little periphery, like I'm out on the peripheries, and like I don't socialize a whole lot, but I definitely consider myself a member. So,
Oh, you are. You're a member. Not all members speak out very loudly or
uh-huh.
vocally, but you are a member, and we see what you do all the time. You're always dropping screenshots, in Twitter. It doesn't have to be Amino to be a member, but you
Nice.
are a member. So, a very, very proud member of that. We're really very proud to have you.
Well, thank you. I'll keep looking. I'll find some more.
Awesome, dude. Drop those screenshots, and I'll make a wiki as they come.
Nice.
Right on. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll see you all next week.
Oh,
Genetic
thanks
code,
everyone.
everyone. Let's get a real close up of you.
I'm gonna do the little, see if I can do a little wave emote.
Okay.
Oh no, wrong one.
Perfect.
If I was pointing the right direction, let's see if I can get over there. There we go.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks everyone.
This is Channel 42. Thank you.